Hey guys, it's great to see you. Today's video is all about Shutoko and specifically how to get it working correctly. So some of my viewers are still having a few problems, especially with traffic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it from my system and I'm going to show you step by step right from the beginning how to install it. Not only that, I'm going to show you where to download and what to download, and that's the tracks, the car packs and the traffic, where to access the servers, and of course what CSP version and those dreaded settings in Content Manager, what you need to change and how you need to change it. As ever, if you are new here, do check out the rest of the channel. There's lots more sim racing on there, and if you do like what you see, I'd love to have you on board, so do click on that subscribe button. Just before we jump into the video, I have also dropped the link today of Digital Car Culture magazine, so that's in the description below. Now this is a free magazine that comes out every month. You can just click on the link and read it. It's got some fantastic content that covers all sorts of sim racing, and there's also lots of aspects of different kinds of news and different contributors every month. It's really good read, and these guys are doing a fantastic job of supporting all of the scenes that they cover. Also guys, a reminder that membership is open on the channel. It's $2.99 a month. Just click on that join button. You get custom emojis as well as a badge next to your name, member shoutouts, exclusive member only videos and monthly behind the scenes access, as well as access to the exclusive engineer lounge in my Discord server. And if you are into your online racing, do check out the community tab in YouTube or check out my Discord pages. There are races and hot lap competitions going on every week. These are all free to take part in, and you get to meet lots of like-minded people from around the world. It's great fun. This video has got timestamps on it guys, because it is quite long and there's lots of information in it, so do check those out in the description. Let's jump right in then. The first place to go then guys is the official Discord server. So this is where you're going to get all the latest downloads, and whenever there's anything new released, this is where it will be. So this link that you can see here, this is the one that's in the description, and if you click on that and you've not joined it, it will actually add you to their Discord server. So this project, let's remember, aims to be the definitive version of Shutoko, otherwise known as the Tokyo Metropolitan Expressway, or the Wangan, and this is just on Assetto Corsa. So here you've got track downloads, you've got server information, you've got car downloads and SRP track extras. The first place to go is the track download. So at the moment we're still on version 0.9.1. So if you are watching this video and a new version is out, I'll probably will have released another video on the channel, but if not, then this will probably be still standard information for how to install those. There's obviously some updates on the previous version, and you can see here, you can read through about all the different areas, the gameplay and the visuals. Performance as well is a big one. This is an enormous map. So there have been optimizations and improvements since previous releases, and that will help if you've got an older PC especially. So here's all the links. You can see there's main links here, so I'm just going to click on one of those and it's just going to give you a download link from Google Docs. So I'm just going to download from here, and it will say it's quite large, so it's nearly a gig. Do you want to download it? So you download anyway, and that will just pop up in the corner, and then I'll just drag that up, and then you can just save that as per normal, and that's one of the main track files that we are actually going to use. So really important you do get the official tracks. If I just go back then to the main Discord server, the next place we're going to go is the car pack. Now the car pack I covered on my channel a few months ago was actually version 2.5. There has been some changes. This is version 2.7, and I will go through what those cars are in this car pack. Couple of important things to remember. You do need the latest car pack to play on their online servers, so they're the kind of official servers. So if you want to play on those, you do need the official packs. Also, you do need the Japanese car pack DLC. I know most of you will have all the DLCs now, so really important that you've got that, because some of these cars are based on some of those DLC cars. And also there are some problems with WinRAR. I use it, I don't really see any problems, but some people do, so do make sure that you use 7-zip as well if you do get any problems. Again, there's a link to click on there and you can just download the car pack. 759 megabytes, again filling your hard drive up. I think all of this in total is over 2.5 gigabytes, but absolutely worth it. One of the best mods on Assetto Corsa at the moment. So let's just download that, and again I'm going to show you where to put that and how to use that later on. The next thing to do is to go into the SRP track extras, so that's just underneath car downloads. And remember again guys, these are all the official files, so if there's any updates, this is where it happens. These are where the updated files will be. So there's two things you've got in here. You've got the You've got the Shutoko version 0.9.1C1 outer time attack layout, and I have got that on my channel also. But you do need the main track. Obviously you can't download these without the main track. But the one that we're interested in, because it's the traffic piece that I really want to focus on, is this traffic layout here. So this is the traffic layout that's going to enable you to use CSP flood to add cars and just to create this kind of full traffic effect. So here we have the download link as well. This is the PA traffic. So this is going to add a separate traffic layout onto your Shutoko, and I'll show you how that works. So again, we're just going to click on it and we're going to download. This is a slightly different way of downloading because it's a Google Doc, as you can see at the top, google.com. So all we're going to do is just click the icon at the top right hand corner and that will download, and we're going to use this later on just to install this separate section of track and separate way of working with Shutoko. As you can see, it's there, look, 0.9.1, the traffic, and we're just going to click on OK, and that will download, and I'll show you what to do with that in a moment. A couple of things that we do need to focus on though, and these warning pieces are really important. So the latest version of CSP that you can use with Shutoko to get traffic is 0.1.73. Most people will find themselves on 1.74 at the moment, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to downgrade to this and then upgrade yourself back up. Look at the included settings. I'm going to go through all the CSP settings, and this is a really important one. It can take up to 10 minutes for the track to load. This is because the way the AI spline is working on the whole of the track, and it's an enormous track. Don't use too many cars. I'm going to go through that as well. And then just a disclaimer right at the bottom, there are some strange bugs on this Assetto Corsa. This is not the way it was designed to work, but some fantastic modding going on here. So let's take a look then into Content Manager. Before we start anything, we have to look at CSP. So by going into settings and custom shader patch and about and updates at the top here, you will see what version of custom shader patch you were on. At the moment I'm on 1.75, that's the Rain Patreon edition, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to change. Now remember, we needed to be on 1.73, the standard release at the moment is 1.74. It's important to note also that if you want to go back to 1.75 preview, it is definitely a drag and drop. You can't upgrade to it from inside Content Manager, so you'd have to drag that back over again. Now we need to go to 1.73, so I'm just going to click on that, and you can see it's downgraded successfully. So that has taken us to 1.73. I would always do a Content Manager restart whenever you do an upgrade or a downgrade, just to make sure it's stuck, but that all seems to be working fine. Next we're going to go into the drive menu, and we're just going to have a look for the old Shutoko files. Now you don't necessarily need to uninstall or remove your old version, but if you're having any problems I definitely would. So if you just type in SHUT there, you can see it brings up your Shutoko files. So these are the tracks that I've actually got installed, and I've got 8 tracks installed including the traffic piece. However, if I've actually clicked on Shutoko and then click on the 3 little dots just here, you'll see that you can get folder. That will show you where your Shutoko folder is actually residing. So mine is obviously in my Steam apps and common and tracks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete that folder. So you can see now I'm actually removing Shutoko from my computer. Everything that I've installed on Shutoko tracks, including the traffic and the time attack, I'm going to remove it. So I'm just going to close this down here, and I'm just going to remove this folder and delete it. So I'm going to start from scratch with this, with the files that I've just downloaded. So going through the delete then, yes, I do want to delete this. It's quite a big folder, but that's all gone now. That's all my hard-earned downloads gone. So let's just close that up now. If I open Content Manager back up, we will see if that track is still there, and this is a good way to check. So remember I had Shutoko highlighted there, and actually it's gone now. So just do a double check here. I'll just put SHUT in, no Shutoko, so it's gone. So now if we did have any problems in that old Shutoko folder, any crossed files or any contaminated files, they've all gone. So we've removed that, so we can start from scratch again. That's brilliant. Here then I've dropped the 3 different files that we downloaded earlier onto the desktop. So the first one is the main track, the second one is the car pack, and the third one is the traffic pack. So I'm going to install these now and just show you how all that works. And guys, I know that a lot of you will know how to do this, but step by step, if there's any mistakes made in any of this, it can cause you problems on the main Shutoko piece. So I'm just going to drop the main track in there, and you can see, as ever, on Content Manager, it'll come up in the box. Now I have shortened this sequence a little bit because it's an enormous file, and then Windows is just trying to find all the different parts of that file with Content Manager. So just shortened this, so this will probably take about a minute to 2 minutes depending on your computer. And you can see here that there's going to be 6 different layouts that's going to be installed. This is again the official Shutoko 0.9.1 files. So we're just going to click on install on there, and we're just going to let Content Manager install these. Again, because it's a big file, don't be surprised if your computer hangs a little bit depending on the age of your computer, but it should take 30 seconds to a minute to install that. So now we can remove completed and we can move on to the next piece. Let's just do a couple of double checks though, just to make sure we have installed this and it's all working correctly. So now if I go on to filter on all and type in SHUT, we can see there we've got the Shutoko, and we can see it's got a 6 in bracket. So that's the 6 different layouts. That's the basic Shutoko 0.9.1. Again, we can see the 6 different versions down here underneath. That means then that the basic track is installed and everything's all right on that. So let's look at the cars next. So remember, we've got this car raw file here in the middle. So what I'm going to do is just extract that, and there it is. It takes a little bit longer when you double click on it, but let's have a look what cars we've got on there, because there is a slight change on the 2.7 car pack to the 2.5, and I may well put a video together just to go through these in more detail. Let's have a look at the list then. So we've got the Honda EK9 Turbo, we've got the Arch Rough, we've got the Nissan Skyline HR31, the Toyota MR2, my favourite, the Shutoko version. We've got the Mitsubishi Evo 5, we've got the AB Flug S900, we've got the Toyota Supra Mark IV, we've got the C8, that is absolutely fantastic. That's the one that's actually on my thumbnail. We've got the Honda NSX, the Skyline R34, 2 versions of that, the Honda S2000, and the Aeonsim R33. So as you can see, this is under a content folder. What I'm going to do now is install this and just show you where that goes, because we're going to manually put this over. The window I've just opened up then is just a shortcut to the root of my Assetto Corsa directory. That's on the left, and on the right hand side we've got the directory that we've downloaded. That is the cars directory. So on the left we have already got a content folder, and as you can see in there, it's got all the different folders for cars and tracks, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy over this whole content folder. Now don't worry about doing this, because it will warn you if you're going to overwrite any folders. Now I've actually already installed a number of these cars in the 2.5, so I've just shortened this sequence a little bit, but you can see it's saying there's a lot of files there that it wants to overwrite. Because there's a newer version, I'm just going to say yes, and that will just go through, and that is done. It's as simple as that. So that's all those cars now installed, and this is where Content Manager comes into its own, because it will just put all those in the library and they're ready to go. So that's great. So that's the cars installed. It's as simple as that. And of course we can just do a quick test just to double check that these cars are installed. So if I just go into Content Manager and I choose on cars, I'm just going to put something in here in the search folder just to double check what we've got, and there you go, there's the cars installed there. So I can pick any of those cars. I've not even restarted Content Manager to do this, and obviously you're ready to drive those. So you can drive these on any track obviously, but if you want to drive on the official servers, you do need these cars. So do remember that. I said it at the beginning, so you will come up with an error if you haven't got these official cars downloaded. So we're on 2.7 as of this video coming out. So we've got the main tracks installed, that's 6 of those. We've got the cars installed, the 2.7 pack. Now we're going to install the traffic piece, and I think this is the piece that some people do get stuck on. So let's just drag this over then. So this is a simple drag and drop into Content Manager, and as you can see, we've only got the original 6 here. They're the 6 that we installed. If I just click here, they're the 6 that we installed right at the beginning. So they are the standard. If you've only got those 6, you haven't got traffic installed. It needs to say traffic on one of those. So we've dragged it over, and again with Content Manager, we're just going to go in here on the 3 bars, and this is the traffic piece here that we're going to install. So again, we're just going to click on install. This is a really quick one actually. Should only take 20 or 30 seconds or so, and there you go, it's done really quickly on this computer. So we're just going to remove completed. Now it's still not there, so the best thing to do is just to restart Content Manager for this particular one, because it's just going to categorize that track. So let's just close Content Manager down and restart it. And let's just check again what's in there. So now we've actually got 7 different layouts there. So we have got the traffic layout there. So if you've not got this traffic layout, it's not going to work. Traffic doesn't work on all of the tracks, only this one. And as you can see here, as we go through these different tracks, we've now got the PA traffic track actually set up there. So that's nearly us done. So the next thing to do is to set it up in CSP and with Content Manager. And again, in the folder that you actually download with this traffic piece, you do get a number of items that help you with this, but I'm going to talk you through them step by step. If we double click on the raw file that we've downloaded, now remember we've already installed this, but we're just double clicking on it to see the help files that are inside of it. You can see there's a readme file, so let's just have a quick look through this. Really important we understand what's going on. So first thing is, and I said it earlier on, if there's any weird AI behavior, it's probably not a bug. Remember, Assetto Corsa is a standard track racer. These are all mods, and sometimes they'll do strange things. That's not a problem. Again, drag and drop into Content Manager. We've all done that. Now there are some slower or faster AI ini files here that you can actually drop into your content folder. So that's really useful if you're wanting the traffic to do something different. Also here it talks about to start what you need to do. So again, drive, single, quick, track day, and choose Shutoko Revival Projects, the PA traffic. Track day is the really important part here. This does not work on race, it does not work on practice, it's only on track day. So do remember that. I've had lots of questions about what to choose. It is definitely track day. And the next really big thing is it will take up to 10 minutes to initialize. Now that sounds crazy on a modern computer, but remember how big this track is and all the configuration that the AI has got to go through. So if your computer looks like it's hanging there for 10 minutes, you just have to leave it. I know that we're all used to computers doing things very quick, but this may take 10 minutes and it may look like it's not responding, but don't worry about that. Some known issues here. Firstly, that sometimes you'll see cars parked across the road. Don't worry about it, it's just a bug. And also if you change the AI behavior and anything that apart from what we're going to show you here, then it's probably not going to work correctly as well. Also here, the best AI behavior is to use 6 to 9 cars. It's really tempting to put 30 cars on, it's just not going to work very well. And also there is a massive CPU hit here. So even with some fast CPUs, you'll see some massive slowdown if you start to put more cars on the track. And you don't need to, because the way that flood works is as you go past cars, it respawns other cars in front of you. So you don't need to do that. And also if you drive really, really fast, well, you're probably going to overtake the cars that have spawned and then the cars that are trying to spawn to keep up with you. So obviously, if you're not seeing any cars and you're driving at 300 miles an hour, that's probably the reason. So I think it's useful just to have a look through that README file. Also, if you go into settings here, there's 3 really useful JPEGs and PNG files here. But the one that we're really interested in is the AI traffic, the SRP settings here. So this is the one that I've shown on a previous video, and these are the direct settings that you want to use in CSP 1.73. Remember, it's CSP 1.73. Let's set up the new traffic then in CSP and Content Manager. So we're going to settings, custom shader patch, and new AI behavior. So I've kind of put these together. I'll just shrink those up or maybe zoom in a little bit. Just to make sure that I'm actually copying these directly, and that it's obviously the kind of bluey areas that we just want to zoom in on, and just make sure that we're doing in the correct way. So the first one that we're actually looking at then is minimum track length. So let's just take a look at what we need to be set at. So it tells us here what we need to be set at. I think at the moment we're set at 7,000. So we're going to change that. So you just use this little slider bar here on the right hand side, and we're just going to slide that down to 4,000. So that's correct. It's come up in red because we're actually changing a setting. The next change we need to make is spawn attempt. So it's 5 over here, and as you can see in the default we've got 2. So we're going to move that up to 5. And again, we just use the slider on the right hand side there just to move that over. The next one is horizontal offset. Now it's saying 0% here, and we're actually on 0% on our standard settings, so there's nothing to change there. Next up is min distance to player. I'll just scroll this JPEG around so we can see that there. Look, so it's saying 370, and what are we on at the moment? We're on 400. So again, just going to use the slider and just try and get that approximately where it is. It's a little bit fiddly. Yep, that will do. So that's at 367. That will do. That's fine. And then the one underneath is minimum distance to AI, and that's 150 meters, and we've got 100 meters on here at the moment. So we're just going to move that up to approximately 150 meters. That will do there. Okay, all good. And then the last but not least, you can see there's another blue section down here, and that's get back to the race after going into pits. So this is for the AI. So if you didn't do this, if one of the AI crashed or just did something strange, they might not reappear and respawn. So we're just going to tick that. So once you've done that, that's all done, and that is all the traffic settings there. I'm just going to move around, nothing else on there. So as long as you've done all those settings as you should do, then you're ready to go, and we are ready now to run and just to see what kind of traffic we can get onto the track. Next we click on the drive menu, and there's a couple of things we need to do just before we start. The first is to choose your car. Now you've got all these amazing cars. If you've not downloaded them before, you can take your pick. I love the Shutoko spec MR2, especially in white. I'll just have a flick through the colours. So this is my favourite. But the main thing we're going to do is we are going to pick the traffic for the traffic we're going to see around us actually on the highway. Now there are a couple of traffic packs that I have installed that are on my previous videos, and I will drop the links in the description so you can actually download those, and it talks more about those there. So we're going to choose the right track. So we've got the right track and we've got the right car for us to get going. We choose track day, that is really important. And then of course you've got how many opponents you're going to have there. Now remember we said anything between 6 and 9. Now I've just actually installed myself a new rig and built a new rig, so I'm going to go on to 9, be brave, and then you get to choose your traffic. Now I'm just going to go through these and you'll see some of the traffic pieces that I've actually got, and again these are in the packs that are in my previous video, so do check that out. Now these traffic cars, they don't drive that well if you were going to try and drive them, but they're perfect for traffic. So they're kind of bots if you like, or just basic cars. But there's some really unusual ones that you'll see as I go through here. Because we're going to spawn up to 9 opponents or 9 bits of traffic at a time, you don't just want 9 actually in this side piece here where you're choosing what they are. You can have as many as you want, because this is going to get randomized as it picks it out and respawns new cars all the time. It will actually change the car, but it will also then change the colors and the skins as well. So feel free to put a number of these in here. As you can see, we've got a couple of motorbikes. They're on my previous videos as well. They're good fun. You can actually drive those as well. I have driven those around a track. Really strange to drive a motorbike in Assetto Corsa, but hey, in a previous video recently I was flying a plane around Emerald Bay, so do check that out as well. So there are some fantastic mods on Assetto Corsa, brilliant engine still. So I'm just going to carry on adding these until I think that I've had enough. Again, some standard cars, some unusual cars. There are a lot of lorries, like say motorbikes, there's road sweepers, there's cars and flatbeds with other cars on the back of them, tankers like we've got here. So you can really mix this up as well to make it really interesting if you just want to have a blast around Shutoko with a number of bits of traffic. So that's all the traffic I've got there. I've got 9 opponents on, which is the upper limit of what I can have, and I've got track day highlighted. So once you've completed all of that and you followed all of those instructions, you can click on go. Now remember guys, this is absolutely from scratch. You saw me delete my folder. This is all the downloads that I've done today, so it looks fantastic, and this is Shutoko running. I am running CSP 1.73 and Sol 2.1.3. Do check those out on my channel if you want to understand how to install them. Now I did say that you can go onto servers. Remember when we went into the Discord piece for Shutoko? Well, there is a server information there. There are some quite strict rules. I mean, there are so many people that actually play this online, so these rules are there to protect everybody, to make sure it's a good experience. So make sure you follow those rules, because you'll probably get kicked and banned if you don't. And here's all the different servers. So they run servers all the way around the world, so depending on when different parts of the world are awake, you will see people on these servers. If you click on these, it will take you straight through Content Manager into the online piece, and you can join, and away you go. Absolutely fantastic. So there it is guys, start to finish Shutoko. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's useful and helps you out. As ever, do check out the rest of the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your continued support. See you soon guys.